Baseball Night in America sends you to Fenway Park for a Braves-Red Sox matchup that features two of the most famous faces in the game meeting for perhaps the last time in interleague play.
Well, we know this is the final regular season interleague series for Chipper Jones. Meanwhile, for David Ortiz, the big fella just keeps on rolling. We had rain late in the afternoon in downtown Boston, but now the skies have cleared. We welcome you to Fenway Park. The Atlanta Braves in town to take on the Boston Red Sox. And a pleasant good evening to you. I'm Tom Brenneman. Welcome, as always, to Baseball Night in America. Well, the way the seasons ended for both of these teams last year, you wondered what would be in store for 2012. For Boston, we know they've been wrecked by injuries, yet the Red Sox are 2 games over 500. Atlanta has been a very streaky bunch. They come in 6 games over the 500 mark. It's a pleasure to be joined by Mitch Williams. And, Mitch, you look at where these teams are, where they're going. What do you think?
Well, when I look at Boston, Tom, you're right. They've been ravaged by injuries, but the good news here, they've found some young kids that they can count on. Middlebrooks, Nava. When these guys do get healthy, this team is going to be deep. So I look at them in the same way I looked at them when they came out of spring training. They're going to be a postseason team. As far as Atlanta goes, they're a little more perplexing to me. They're very streaky, but I still see them in the postseason because I see 3 teams coming out of the National League East going to the postseason.
Wow.
Yeah, it is a wow.
3 of them. Holy mackerel. Now with the added wild card, it could be possible. For both teams, huge expectations going into the year. It's been very frustrating for both at times, and the pressure is definitely on if they want to be playing baseball come October. Game 2 of this weekend set from Fenway coming up next on Fox. Boston. Naturally a sellout crowd and what's turning into a beautiful weather night. Temperatures quite cool in the mid-60s. Very low humidity. We had rain a little while ago, but not expecting any more through the remainder of the night. Of course, the Braves and Red Sox, when interleague play initially began back in 1997, played a pair of series every year. But here in 2012, it's the first time they've convened since 2009. And Atlanta took the series opener here last night after a great start from Jair Jurgens. Let's take a look at Freddie Gonzalez starting lineup for the Braves, brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Michael Bourne, Martin Prado, Brian McCann, the DH tonight. Dan Uggla, the cleanup hitter. Freddie Freeman at first. And Chipper Jones down at third in his 19th year with Atlanta. Jason Hayward in right, David Ross catching. And we'll talk a lot about Andrelton Simons, a 22-year-old shortstop who's been in the major leagues for not even 3 weeks. On the mound, making his second start since his days in Colorado. He pitched nearly 150 games out of the bullpen until they needed him to replace Josh Beckett last week, Franklin Morales.
And this guy, Tom, has an overpowering fastball. When he left Colorado, he was in the bullpen. They used him out of the bullpen here. The scouting report on him, good fastball, very good changeup. He's got a big, slow curveball, and when he has to, he can overpower hitters.
He did not factor in the decision last Sunday night at Wrigley Field in the 7-4 Boston win. 5 innings in his first start since 2009. He struck out 9 and did not walk a single batter.
And that is an absolute big boost for them. The no-walk part really shocks me. It looks to me like he's finally got his delivery under control to where he can repeat it.
Of course, Bobby Valentine named the Boston manager after just a terrible ending to 2011. Not only on the field with Boston collapsing, losing on the final day of the regular season to make the playoffs. Tampa Bay, of course, got there. And Terry Francona gone after managing 2 World Series titles. Freddie Gonzalez in his second year as skipper of the Braves. His team had that mammoth collapse in the National League, you may remember, in September. Our opening pitch is brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. So here we go, the Braves and the Red Sox. Game 2 of this 3-game weekend series. Told you Boston at 2 games over 500, had a 5-game winning streak snapped here with the Atlanta win last night. Michael Bourne digging in, looks at a ball, and this one underway.
And Morales, this is where it's got to all start for him, Tom. He has got to keep Michael Bourne off the base paths because he will wreak havoc once he gets to the bases.
And it's a base hit into center field, so we'll find out about that right from the get-go. Take a look at Boston defensively. Talk about all the injuries, so they brought up some of the youngsters. Talking about Nava in left, Kalish in center. Much has been made about the play of Will Middlebrooks down at third. It appears he has taken the job of Kevin Youkilis down there at third.
Yeah, it does. And he's played well. He's earned it.
Of course, that is perhaps topic number 1 around here right now. Will Youkilis get his job back? Or perhaps more closely on the radar, will Youkilis remain with the Boston Red Sox? Ball 1 to Martin Prado.
If I was a betting man, Tom, I would wager that Kevin Youkilis will be wearing a different uniform come July 31st deadline.
Prado having another rock solid year. You and I were talking earlier, Mitch Williams. This guy is just one good player.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain guys that play great positions. There's great shortstops. There's great second basemen. Martin Prado is a baseball player. Hand him a glove. I don't care what position it is. He's going to play that position well.
Prado, an all-star in 2010 as a second baseman. The last 2 years, he's bounced from third to left field. We're going to keep an eye on Bourne, who has 18 stolen bases. He has been thrown out 7 times.
And it's going to be up to Franklin Morales to change his times don't get in a rhythm and don't let Michael Bourne get in a rhythm with him, because Bourne is going to go on first movement. As soon as he sees Morales pick his leg up, he's going to go. He is not going to wait.
Not going here, and it's taken low. 2 balls and a strike on Prado.
And Bourne is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to draw the attention of the pitcher away from the hitter.
Well, you look at Michael Bourne, of course, initially with Philadelphia, and then Ed Wade, the former GM there, got the job in Houston, brought him down to Houston. Braves were able to pick him up last year. And now he opens the season atop of their order, and really the first time since Rafael for a call back in 2005 where they have speed at the top of the order. Look at that rainbow.
It is party. And you're right. And I watched Michael Bourne back when I was covering Philly every day, and I never thought he could become an everyday player, because I never thought he would be able to hit left-handed pitching. And he has done nothing but prove me wrong.
That would have been the first time that ever happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ball 4, and the Braves are knocking on the door. A single and a walk.
And that's what Michael Bourne does to a pitcher. Franklin Morales in 28 2/3 innings so far this year has walked 8 guys, 2 of them intentionally. So that tells you right there what a base stealer can do to a pitcher.
The judiciary tonight: Kerwin Danley out at second base, the crew chief. Doug Eddings calls the balls and strikes. Al Porter at first, and our buddy Paul Nowry down at third. Certainly one of the real mysteries for the Atlanta Braves has been the offensive production, or lack thereof, from this guy right here, Brian McCann.
Well, I think team pitchers in general are not giving him much to hit. They're going to make him chase, or he's not going to. If he chases, the pitcher's got him. If he doesn't chase, he's going to draw a bunch of walks, and he's been doing quite a bit of chasing this year. Honestly, he's the guy in their lineup that you don't want to beat you.
2 on, none out. Runners go. Got a great jump and not even a throw from Saltalamacchia. That's not his fault. That's all on the pitcher.
That right there is Morales getting in a rhythm, and both base runners figuring that rhythm out. And you see the jumps they get. There's nothing Saltalamacchia could do with that ball at all. And here you can't pull your infield in, so you got to play back, give up the run. And more than that, he's behind 2-0 on the count to McCann. And he can't give in here, just throw him a cookie down the middle of the plate either. He's got to make a pitch.
Borderline strike there, 2-1. The Braves love the steal of third. You know, you hear about it all the time. Guys say it's easier to steal third than second, but you rarely ever see it anymore. Braves have done it now 8 times this year.
Well, it's an art form. It really is. It's a guy that has confidence in knowing what the pitcher's doing and being able to read the pitcher.
And it's into short right center, knocked down by Pedroia. But it's a base hit for McCann, plating Bourne and advancing Prado on to third. 3 batters, nobody out, 1-0 Atlanta.
As we look at the location here on McCann, ball's on the inner third of the plate. He pulls it into the shift, and they still were not able to get to it. Pedroia did a great job just to knock that ball down. He saved a run right there.
Well, they're on the corners, nobody out, and here's Dan Uggla.
And I can tell you, this is one guy that you do not want to throw breaking balls for strikes to.
Well, Uggla is a guy who will swing and miss. I mean, he struck out 81 times. That's 7th most in all the Major League Baseball, and that's what Morales is probably thinking about right here and right now.
And now that he's finally ahead of a hitter, he's got an 0-1 count. And you saw the last fastball, 95 miles an hour. This is where he's got to start using his changeup.
In the air, foul territory, and this one will drift out of play. He's gotten ahead now of Uggla, 0-2.
He is in dire need of a punch out right here. And an 0-2 count, to me, the pitch count, I'm a huge disbeliever in. This tells me as a pitcher I have 4 opportunities to get him to swing at a ball out of the zone. elevate his fastball in the middle of the plate up, head high in on the catcher.
Boy, as he elevate the ball, he doesn't chase it.
But that ball's away. Anytime you're going to elevate, it's got to be in the middle of the plate. A hitter can recognize away, they can recognize in. If it's 95 miles an hour, it's in the middle. They have to respect that, and they will go after it.
1-2, runners on the corners, none out. Swing and a miss, and there's that strikeout.
And there's his changeup. Changeup wasn't in a great spot, but when you're talking about 95-mile-an-hour fastball and an 82-mile-an-hour changeup, you can see how far out in front Uggla was of that pitch.
So now Freddie Freeman, coming off an outstanding rookie campaign in 2011, has had issues with his eyes this year. Injured a finger on his hand that really slowed down his progress. But make no mistake, this guy can hit. Strike one.
He's got a short, quick swing, and Morales is able to get that first pitch fastball in on him and by him.
Freeman 9 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Not a big power hitter. Behind 0-2, he's more of a gap guy. As his career moves on, he might be a 40 doubles per year guy.
I agree totally, Tom. He's a good hitter. Like I said, a very short swing. Morales threw him a changeup, left-hander on left-hander, which is not the norm.
How about that?
That's another changeup. Back-to-back changeups to a left-hander. It's not normal, but you saw the effectiveness of it.
We're talking about interleague baseball. Began back in 1997. And you see the overall numbers. I mean, runs per game are almost identical, yet a big advantage for the American League. Far more home runs. Pitching roughly about the same. And the DH has been a big advantage for the American League. National League teams have not done well by and large with a designated hitter.
No, because that position is a position. You have to learn to do it. You don't walk into that position and say, okay, I'm going to hit, and then go sit down for 45 minutes and then get back up and hit again. It is something that is learned. It is not something you walk in and do.
So now Larry Wayne Jones Jr., known as Chipper Jones. And a line drive right at the shortstop to end the inning. Real nice job by Morales. Only gives up one, and the Red Sox are coming up. Bills, sometimes you gotta live Moss. Nava in left, Pedroia at second, Ortiz at DH, Saltalamacchia at catching, Gonzalez at first with Middlebrooks down at third, and the latter third of Cody Ross, Ryan Kalish, Micah Vilas. And on the mound, 22-year-old right-hander Randall Delgado, a 4-7 record. But I know you like this young man.
Well, he's got a live arm. The problem with him is going to be his command. As we look at his numbers right there, 4.12 ERA, 74, 37 walks, and 60 Ks. That's got to change. The scouting report on him, be patient. You got to make him throw strikes. He's a sinker ball guy. He throws a changeup. This guy, he's young. He's learning how to pitch. And this is what I mean about being patient. When a guy walks 4.5 guys per 9 innings, if you're patient with the at-bat, a lot of times he'll put you on base.
Well, what a run it has been since being brought up from the minor leagues for Daniel Nava.
He had a dream first day, did he not?
Well, he knocked in Boston's only run last night on an RBI double in the 8th, batting in the month of June over 400. They've not had an outfielder do that wearing a Boston uniform since a guy named Jim Rice back in 1985.
Well, this guy is one of those young guys that we touched on in the open, that when they do get healthy, this team is going to be deep. And you see right there, Delgado at 94 with good movement on his fastball. If he can work ahead in the count to these hitters, he can have a lot of success.
Well, it looked like right from the get-go tonight that Nava's swing on the follow-through looked like it warming up. Bam! Right under the chin of David Ross.
You take that on the chin.
Tell you, there are a lot of tough guys, and we know, as far as I'm concerned, every catcher's a tough guy. This David Ross is a real tough guy.
He's what we call back home in Texas a hay hauler. He's just a big, strong boy.
Were you a hay hauler?
Oh, yeah. I hauled a lot of hay.
Straight up in the air behind the mound, and the shortstop Simmons to the infield grass, 1 out. Let's take a look at Atlanta defensively. Bourne flanked by Prado and Jason Hayward. Chipper Jones, Freddie Freeman on the corners, Dan Uggla and Simmons up the middle, and David Ross starting behind the plate with McCann the DH. Well, now Dustin Pedroia. 9 for his last 62 in 15 games since coming back from that stretch in the early part of the month after he injured his thumb.
Well, if I'm building a baseball team, I want 9 guys with his personality. We talk about Martin Prado being a baseball player. That's exactly how I look at this guy here. Pedroia is all about just winning. And it proves to everybody you ain't got to be big to play this game.
I recall like it was yesterday down in Fort Myers when Pedroia first showed up in his first big league camp out of Arizona State, and Terry Francona was saying, you wonder because of his size, but then after you watch him a little while, it just goes to show you.
Yeah, you forget all about his size, but there's that unbelievable range this kid has up the middle. There's not many shortstops in the game that even get to that ball.
Infield hit for Pedroia, but Simmons showing off that range up through the middle.
Look at how far over towards the third baseman he is and where this ball ends up. And he gets to it, and had his foot not slipped, he would have got up and made a strong throw because he has a cannon.
Well, here's one guy that's not feeling any effects from last year or the year before or any injuries. Big Papi, David Ortiz.
Big Papi, to me, embodies what this game is. Adjustments.
First pitch swinging in the air to left center field. Bourne near the green monster. And at the track, that's out number 2. Doug Innings, a home plate umpire, wearing a microphone. Let's listen in our Fox sounds of the game from a moment ago.
Time on, time!
I'm 2 for 2 right now, aren't I?
You all right, David?
Yeah, I'm good.
So you got that helmet on.
That big dome's in the way.
Sounds like he'd hit him before. He said, I'm 2 for 2.
Well, you know, there are a lot of great guys that play this game of baseball. I don't know if there's a nicer guy that plays this game than David Ross. But he's as good as it gets.
I've never met him, but he's a guy to me that understands his role. And I played with a guy named Todd Pratt that was a backup catcher his entire career, but he was smart about it and never priced himself out of the game and played a long, long time. And that's how I look at Ross.
Jared Saltalamacchia, many wondered this time a year ago with Jason Varitek clearly on the end of his career, and then eventually, of course, announcing his retirement in the spring, that, you know, what would happen behind the plate? Well, what's happened is Saltalamacchia.
And he's playing against his former team. The Braves let him go. The Rangers let him go. He never really got going. And it just so happened when Varitek did decide to retire, I think it freed him up and said, okay, this is my job. And he's taken it and run with it.
Hooked into right field, and that's a base hit for Saltalamacchia. Going first to third is Pedroia. Well, the Red Sox trying to answer here in the bottom of the first inning, down a run.
We're going to look at the location of this pitch. Change up, got him out in front, but Saltalamacchia did a good job of keeping his hands back just long enough to hook that ball in the hole. And something I never thought I'd see on a baseball field, Pedroia having to duck.
Boy, you're tough.
Petey's
right out of the gate.
Petey's one of the few guys that can hide behind the base.
Well, here's Adrian Gonzalez. We talked about Brian McCann, wondering, you know, where his production is. The same can be asked of Adrian Gonzalez.
And anytime you see a guy of this magnitude that is struggling like he's struggled with his power, that's a mental thing. In my opinion, it's mental. It's him going up there thinking too much rather than the old John Kruk theory of hitting, see ball, hit ball, and basically breaking it down to what you're doing.
Last 2 weeks, 6 hits in 40 at bats for Adrian Gonzalez.
Six hits is normally in 20 at bats for this guy.
Well, he's not the only one to suffer an early season power outage. Pedroia, we talked about the thumb. Youkilis has been hurt large chunks of this year and not playing as frequently.
And you look at those numbers, Pedroia, you wonder how much the thumbs affected his power. I watched him take BP today, and to me it looks like he shortened his stride.
2-2.
And Delgado, in this situation right here, with a hitter like Adrian Gonzalez, you do not want the ball up and out over the plate. It had better be down, because if you get it up and out over the plate, I know he swings a heavy bat, and all he's going to do is move it through the zone. You see the ball down and away there, that's fine. If that ball had been up another 6 inches, that ball's off the monster. Look where this pitch is. The catcher Ross wants it down. He gets it there. If that ball's 6 inches up, it's off the monster. And they're coming in.
And missed in, running the count full.
He tried to throw that swing back sinker right there, started at his hip, and have it come back over the inside part of the plate. Just missed with it. Now he's got a multitude of things he can do. He can throw his breaking ball, his changeup, or he can go hard at him with his fastball.
Came with a gas right down the middle of the plate, and it swung on and fouled out of play.
And that tells you a lot about where Adrian Gonzalez is right now. He gets a 3-2 fastball, middle, and cannot put it in play. As you look at what he does with runners in scoring position, he likes to hit with guys on.
And he delivers here with a base hit into right center field. That'll score Pedroia a 1-1 game.
our producer right there, unbelievable, putting those numbers up there with runners in scoring position. We look at this. It looks like he went with the breaking ball. It stayed on the outer third of the plate, and Adrian just hooked it into the center field hole there. They had the shift on. You look at where the pitch was right there. Good job of hitting.
So now Will Middlebrooks, what a story he has been. His first 39 games since being brought up from the minor leagues. He's knocked in 31 runs. And man, during the last 4 games, 7 hits in his last 10 at bats, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 7 runs batted in. 2-0.
And you understand the dilemma that Bobby Valentine is in right now. It's hard to take a guy that's that hot out of the lineup. You're trying to win ball games. I know Kevin Youkilis is the incumbent here. He's loved here in Boston. He helped them to 2 world championships. But when a guy's this hot, you ride him.
You and I have talked about this, Mitch. It's one of the hardest things for a manager, for a fan base, for a general manager, players inside the clubhouse. 3-0 is a strike. That when a player is either injured or getting older, whatever the case may be, when a young guy comes in and is playing like Middlebrooks is playing, it becomes very difficult for all involved. And this one is in the air to deep left center field, and a beat goes on for Middlebrooks. Boston takes a 2-1 lead on the double.
And I think that pretty much speaks for itself. Delgado put himself in a cripple count, a 3-1 count, and good hitters do not miss cripple pitches. And what I mean by a cripple pitch, a fastball, middle. And you can see the concentration staying on the baseball all the way through the baseball. He knows it's off the monster. And you see Yuka in the dugout. You know he's rooting for his teammates. He's a team guy. But I think he kind of understands that his days here in Boston may be numbered.
Middlebrooks gave Youkilis tremendous credit for helping him not only on the field, but a number of issues of what might come your way off the field.
Well, the thing about playing in the Northeast as a player, you have to understand these people up here, it is not a social event. The fans in the Northeast, this is a way of life. And they take every game seriously.
Tapper down to third, and Cody Ross thrown out. But a 4-hit last to the first inning gives Boston a 2-1 lead at the end of 1. Presented by Budweiser, is sponsored by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Mouse. #100th anniversary of Fenway Park here in 2012. Red Sox with a 2-1 lead. We're set to begin the second inning. Latter third in the Atlanta lineup. Jason Hayward looks at ball one.
And for me, that's the one place you do not want to pitch Jason Hayward. Down in the zone, he is going to kill the ball.
Hayward 3 of 4, 2 doubles, 2 scored last night following a 2-homer game on Wednesday at Yankee Stadium. Had the game-winning hit there Tuesday, then the Yankees' long win streak. That was a very impressive series for Atlanta. They had scuffled in the homestand before, and then went into New York and beat the Yankees 2 out of 3.
Well, a lot of times you go into New York and it kind of ramps you up. Playing in New York, in Yankee Stadium, it brings out the best in guys. It can either bring out the best in you or make you wilt. One of the two. Now, right now, you got a 2-2 count on Jason Hayward. If I'm Morales, I'm not messing with a breaking ball or a changeup. I'm elevating a fastball.
Throw him a breaking ball.
Throw him a breaking ball. He has a big hole right at his hands. Anything down, he has that swing where he drops the head of the bat down and is very strong, but he will chase up and he cannot get to it. See that right elbow, that right front elbow? That should be the height of the fastball. Pretty good try right there.
3-2 to Hayward.
See, you see Morales drifting a little bit there. He didn't get all the way back. That's why the pitch was up.
3-2 delivery. In the air, right field. Ross over near the pole, and he's got it, 1 out.
Our forward keys to the game tonight. Very simple, I think. For the Braves, Delgado's got to keep the top of the Boston Red Sox order off base. He was unable to do that in the first inning. Pedroia scored. Big Papi. It's simple. For the Boston Red Sox, get on base in front of Big Papi. He's got 18 homers and 21 doubles. He's hitting .333 with runners in scoring position. That tells me be on base when Papi's at the plate.
Our Ford go further. Keys to the game tonight. Here's David Ross. Strike one. You know, it's so interesting what you said about David Ross and similar to Todd Pratt, former teammate of yours, because you know there's such an unbelievably valuable, and I mean valuable in terms of not only character, but valuable in terms of financial reward of being a guy who just doesn't make any waves, is not unrealistic about where their career might be going. David Ross might catch for 20 years in this league.
Exactly. And I'm not sure the number of, as we see him chase a high fastball right there. That's what I'm talking about a high fastball in the middle of the plate. They have to go at it. But back to what you're talking about, Tom. A backup catcher can have a long career if he does what you said. Don't make waves.
And Drelton Simmons playing in his 19th major league game tonight since they brought him up from the minor league. 20 hits in his first 62 major league at bats. 10 knocked in, 6 extra base hits.
Well, in our meeting with Freddie Gonzalez, Freddie's face just, I mean, lit up when he went to talking about this kid.
Swung on and fouled back out of play. 0-2 to Simmons. Take a peek ahead very quickly on baseball night in America next Saturday. The Mets are in Los Angeles. They'll take on the Dodgers. Others will see the Tigers and the slumping Rays. Baseball Night in America, presented by Budweiser, begins next Saturday, 7 Eastern, only on Fox. Rays came racing out of the gate this year, and well, David, that's another team that's been so injured. Yet they're 7 games over 500.
Well, they find ways to win down there. And Franklin Morales right now, you got a young kid at the plate. Young kids hunt the fastball. They hunt the fastball, and he's got him in an 0-2 count. Either elevate it or bury a changeup. We'll see which way they're going to go here, because we'll have a good view of Saltalamacchia right here. Fastball in. There it is, elevated right. It looks too good to him, but they can't get to it, Tommy.
Nice second inning for Morales. Retires his side in order with a pair of strikeouts. Boston leads 2-1. Times are waiting. Grab some buds. Red Sox bat here in the last of the second inning with a 2-1 lead over Randall Delgado and the Atlanta Braves. Ryan Kalish playing in just his 6th game since being brought up from Pawtucket. 4 of 18 with a couple of runs batted in. On the outside corner, a strike to even the count.
And that's impressive right there. Young pitcher, falls behind 1-0, throws a 1-0 changeup for a called strike. And now he can do whatever he wants with Kalish. He's thrown him a fastball, a changeup, and a curveball. Kalish doesn't know what to look for here. He went with a hard sinker. 95-mile-an-hour sinker is pretty firm. Now I bet he goes back to something slow. Or not.
94 fastball, knee high on the outer edge. Strike 3 to Kalish. 1 out. I'd like to take a moment to welcome all the men and women in uniform serving around the world, watching our broadcast in 175 countries on AFM, the American Forces Network. We cannot thank you enough for your service and all you do, protecting still the greatest country in the world. Enjoy the game tonight, and God bless you all.
Absolutely.
Very nice ceremony on the field. We brought you the national anthem from Fenway Park tonight, recognizing veterans who have recently come home from both Iraq and Afghanistan. Avila's having a nice year as a Boston shortstop. 9 home runs, 41 runs batted in. That's second most on the team.
You know, there was a lot of people that questioned whether or not he could play every day at shortstop for this team, but I think he's taken all those question marks away. He's done a good job offensively. Defensively, he's not got the most range in the world, but he makes the routine play.
Went to Concordia College in Bronxville, New York. Population of less than 800. Division II Player of the Year in 2003. Was told he couldn't play shortstop in the major leagues. Wound up taking the job of Tony Pena Jr. Finished 4th in the American League Rookie of the Year award. Had Tommy John surgery a couple of years later, but came back the following year to play nearly a full season. Sinking liner, and it falls in front of Bourne. A 1-out hit.
And that's a and this is a changeup. This is the idea of a changeup, is to get the guy obviously on his front foot, but the ball's got to be down. And you see that pitch hung up there in the zone, where Aviles is able to keep his hands back long enough to get the barrel of the bat to the ball.
So now back to the top of the order in Nava.
And this goes to our keys to the game. He's got to keep this guy off base. If Nava's able to reach, then you got to deal with Pedroia and Big Papi, and that's not where you want to be early in the ball game.
Of course, all these guys trying to make the decision for Bobby Valentine and Ben Cherington about what they're going to do once they start getting all these outfielders healthy. Carl Crawford, in fact, began his rehab down in Florida earlier today, playing in a game for the first time. Ellsbury has done everything in Boston that he can do, running, throwing, hitting, after the shoulder injury early in the year.
And like I touched on in the open, Tom, what looks like a tragedy is not a tragedy, because they've found out. They've got Nava, they've got Kalish, they've got Middlebrooks. They found out all these guys are able to play at this level, and when their superstars do come back, this is just going to be a really deep team come the second half of the season.
Ellsbury should go out on a rehab assignment sometime very, very soon. That's in there, strike. I mean, look at all of the different outfielders that Boston has used so far this year in center field alone. 9 of them out there.
And you look at that and the depth. It's shocking to me when you look around baseball and see teams that don't have anywhere near this depth. I think Boston is going to be really active come the trade deadline.
If you're wondering, it's 9 total center fielders, 8 of them, 8 different starters in center field. And Marlon Byrd, who they picked up from the Cubs and have since let go, has by far the most starts in center.
And Marlon Byrd, that's shocking to me. Oh.
Nava hit with a pitch on a 2-2 count. Well, right now, let's check in with our good buddy Matt Vasgersian at the MLB Network studios for a DirecTV game break.
Tom, exciting finish in Philly after Jonathan Papelbon blew his first save as a Philly. Jim Thome delivers his all-time major league leading 13th career walk-off home run. Phillies beat the Rays. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Back to Tom and Mitch.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. Game-ending home runs, Jim Thome, #1 all-time, more than the Bambino.
Yeah, that's putting yourself in front of the man. When your name goes on top of Babe Ruth in this game, you've done something.
2 on, 1 out. Pedroia had a base hit his first time up and scored a run. This one into left center field. It'll go to the wall. One scores. They're going to wave around Nava. He will score on a 2-run double by Pedroia. Well, Bobby Valentine said last night after the game, he said, this guy's going to get hot, firecracker hot. He's 2 for 2 tonight.
And you look at this swing. It's an off-speed pitch. And look at how far Petey reached to get that ball and how far he drove it. See, now that's the stride I'm used to seeing him take. That long stride. That's not what he was doing in batting practice today.
Well, they're not going to give Big Papi a chance.
And this is probably wise.
Well, they're going to take their chances and face Saltalamacchia, who had a base hit into right field and scored in the Boston first inning. A 3-run Red Sox lead, 4-1 here in the second. And Freddie Gonzalez not fooling around.
No, and Roger McDowell's going out there right now to talk to the young pitcher. He wants him to get his sinker down and on the outer third of the plate to get Saltalamacchia to roll over on it, hit the ball on the ground. Saltalamacchia is not known for his foot speed. And Roger McDowell, being a former tremendous sinker baller himself, he knows exactly what he wants this kid to do.
Two in, 2 on, 1 out. 4 straight batters have reached against Delgado after he struck out Kalish to begin the inning. And now Saltalamacchia.
I'm looking for everything to be sinkers away here. He starts him with one and catches the outer part of the plate. This is what he's looking to do. He wants to stay down and on the outer half of the plate to get that rollover ground ball. You watch Ross, the catcher, you see him slide out to the outer third. The one thing as a pitcher you don't want to do in this situation, don't guide the ball out there. You got to throw the ball out there. And now they're actually coming in. Oh, breaking ball in the dirt. Tremendous job by David Ross to keep that ball in front of him.
2 balls and a strike.
And this is how backup catchers keep their jobs. They're able to do the little things. Call a game, block the ball, hit the ball out of the park once or twice a week.
Falling behind now. 3 balls and a strike.
And now, again, Delgado's put himself in a cripple count. He cannot split the plate with a fastball right here. A changeup wouldn't be a bad idea because, trust me, Saltalamacchia is hunting a fastball.
They came with a fastball and missed outside. That'll load the bases. 3 walks in the inning. One of the intentional variety. And here comes Adrian Gonzalez. And that is going to be all for Randall Delgado. So we'll take a break and tell you about the new Atlanta pitcher when we return. Budweiser. 4-1 Boston, and the Red Sox have them loaded with only one out for Adrian Gonzalez against a new pitcher, Christian Martinez, 30-year-old right-hander out of their bullpen.
Adrian has struggled for the most part this year, but not with bases loaded. He's hitting .571 with the bases loaded.
His career has 4 grand slams. There's a swing and a miss. Martinez opened last year with a major league club, was sent to AAA. Came back up in July and pitched the rest of the year in Atlanta.
And you saw him start Adrian Gonzalez with a changeup right there.
Pull to the right side. They've got a chance for 2. Simmons lets it fly, and they got him. And a nice job by Martinez. Comes in and gets a double play to keep it a 3-run game.
And that's exactly what the manager, Freddie Gonzalez, was looking for. Stop the bleeding.
And then Andrelton Simmons able to turn it quickly. We're back after a word from your local Fox station. For the very first time, Mitch Williams to come to a game here.
Yeah, this is an overgrown Little League park is how I've always viewed it. The first time I ever came in here, I came out early just to look at it.
It's still amazing no matter how many times you come back. It is just a spectacular venue once you get inside this stadium. I mean, look, you're around for 100 years. There are going to be some quote-unquote holes, if you will, around the grandstand and so forth. There's only so much you can do with a neighborhood. But, boy, when you get into the park itself, it is still spectacular.
Yeah, it's one of those parks that it's synonymous with baseball. Uh-oh. He went to his mouth on the mound, and they've changed that rule this year. You used to have to be off the dirt to go to your mouth. Now you can go to your mouth, but you have to wipe, and he didn't. And he actually didn't go to his mouth. He actually just wiped his chin.
Top of the order for the Braves. Michael Bourne led off the game with a single. Went to second on a walk. Prado stole third and scored the only Atlanta run on a hit by McCann. But Morales really got down to business. Atlanta had a run home, runners on the corners, and nobody out. He struck out Uggla, struck out Freeman, and got Chipper on a line drive to short.
And this is where I think he needs to go to his breaking ball.
On the ground to Gonzalez, and the pitcher Morales did not get there. And Bourne wins the race to the bag.
And in our managers meeting with Bobby Valentine today, he knows I never made this play in my career. And Franklin got a pretty good jump off there. Michael Bourne just got out of the box unbelievably. And a great call by the first base umpire.
That might be the only time where a head-first slide into first base works.
Yep, because normally you're faster. If he'd have run through that bag, there would have been a hellacious collision.
So Bourne 2 out of 2. And now Prado, who walked his first time up, looks at a strike.
You're right about how Morales has settled down, Tom. Now he needs to not let Bourne affect him. He went to a changeup there. Now he's got Prado down in the count 0-2. He got ahead of Bourne. Now is where you have to make a pitch.
Tough out here at the plate in Prado, however.
Again, I'm still a big fan of elevating that fastball. If he can elevate it in the middle, at 95 miles an hour, hitters don't have enough time to make that decision that it's up.
There it was, and it's fouled out of play. That's where Prado is such a difficult out. Fouls a lot of balls away. He's able to cover both sides of the plate pretty well. Not saying he won't get fooled and swing and miss, but this guy can hit.
These are the guys that drove me nuts. Give me the big power hitters that never cut their swing down when they're down in the count. Prado will use an emergency hack, and the hardest pitch to hit when you're in emergency hack mode is a fastball.
Double play ball here. 2 out. Again, let's check in with Matt Vasgersian from the MLB Network studios for a DirecTV game break. Matty.
Tom, as you guys know, the Boston outfield has combined to hit only 16 home runs this year. Josh Reddick has hit 17 for Oakland. He's added a third RBI this afternoon as well. A's trying to win for the 9th time in their last 11 games. Call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Matt, thank you very much. Oakland trying to get within 2 games under the 500 mark. Bob Melvin's done a nice job with that team out there.
Bob Melvin is one of those managers that I really, really like because I think he takes the time to get to know his players.
Of course, it looked like the Rangers were going to run away and hide from everybody in the American League West, especially the start the Angels had. But we know that club is right of the ship, so to speak. 7 over 500, just 4.5 back.
Yeah, the Angels, they're too good a ball club to be where they were at the start of the season. And the Rangers, everybody knew what they were going to be coming out of spring training. My only question mark with the Rangers is going to be their starting pitching, and are they going to take advantage of the fact that they have power arms, or are they going to have all of them go to throwing 2-seam fastballs? And
you get a little irritated by that 2-seam fastball business with guys that are throwing 95.
It bothers me. 2-seam fastballs are meant to be put in play. And if you don't have absolute command of it, it's nothing but a BP fastball. When you have the ability to reach back and throw 96, 97, I'm doing that.
2-1 to McCann. And it's ripped right into the ship. Morales going to get to the bag this time, and a good feed by Pedroia. 2 in the inning. Boston, a 3-run lead, middle of the 3rd from Fenway Park. The third inning, and the home team with a 4-1 lead. On in relief is Martinez. First pitch swinging is Middlebrooks. And how about Will Middlebrooks?
Yeah. I'm telling you right now, this kid, he ain't coming out of that lineup. And what Freddie Gonzalez is looking for from Christian Martinez right now is some innings to try not to deplete his bullpen. He needs a little bit of length out of him. And Middlebrooks jumped that first pitch fastball.
Middlebrooks 2 at-bats here tonight. 2 runs batted in, giving him 33.
I mean, that's just a great swing. Martinez decided to go with a break ball. Look at this swing right here. This is what you call Spalding guidebook. Not over swinging. He uses his hands, balanced.
Well, kind enough to join us from down in the Atlanta dugout. Last night's winning pitcher, and what a return to the major leagues for Jair Jurgens. 7 2/3 innings, 3 hits. Congratulations and welcome back.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Jair, it had to feel good to get back out there.
Yes, I'm just happy to be back with my teammates and be in the big leagues again.
You know, you began the month of April, Jair, and obviously nothing was going your way. You had such a great first half to last season, and then slowed down by injuries over the second half. Was your confidence ever waning after what happened to begin this year?
No, because I know the whole problem was a weakness in my quad. That's the main problem. That's why I had problems with control, with velocity, and everything.
Do you realize, Jair, how important it is for you to be a mainstay in that Braves rotation?
You know, I think we're solid. I just try to be one of the guys in the group and go out there and try to just give my team a chance to win.
Swing and a miss.
Well, you did that last night. You threw the ball outstanding.
Thank you.
We all saw last year, the first half of the year, you were probably one of the top 3 pitchers in the National League.
You know, just baseball is crazy, and I wish I pay attention more on my leg strength last year during the off season, and I think I might finish the season strong like I started. But I'm wiser, and I know what I need to do to keep my leg strength.
Well, we're showing some highlights of you from last night, buddy, and you were like Picasso last night. You were living on the edges, weren't you?
Yeah.
Doing a little painting?
I try. You know, it make it easy when you have a catcher who has a good target and just try to hit in the chest.
1 out, 1 in. Kalish, a batter. He struck out looking his first time up. Martinez on in relief of departed starter Randall Delgado. Jair, if there's one thing besides, you know, you just mentioned about taking care of your lower half and your legs. When you go back to the minor leagues, that one in the short right, and Hayward with a diving play to take away a hit. Boy, he is long out there and right.
He is. We look at this replay here. You're talking about 6'5" with his arms extended, probably around 8 feet, and he needed every bit of it right there. That's an athletic big man.
Jair, just to finish a thought, when you go back to the minor leagues, is there something you take away from that experience now that you're back in the major leagues?
You know, it's so easy to be on top and fall down. You know, I appreciate every moment now being back with the big team, and you know, it's something I think I'm not taking for granted anymore.
Well, I know that everybody in the entire Braves organization speaks so highly of you, and everybody's rooting for you. They're glad you're back, and they're so glad. Obviously, you pitched well last night. Thanks for taking the time to join us tonight, and good luck to you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks, Mitch.
On the outside corner, a strike. Avila started the 2-run rally in the second inning with a 1-out hit. Hooked into left field, and this will be a 2-base hit. 18 for Avila's on the year.
And again, that's the second at bat in a row they've gone to off speed to Micah Vilas, and he's kept his hands back. Here's an 83-mile-an-hour changeup right here, and you look at him. It ain't the prettiest thing in the world, but if you keep your hands back, you can do damage. And that's exactly what he's done in his first 2 at bats.
We're now batting already for the 3rd time in a game, and we're in the 3rd inning. The leadoff batter, Daniel Nava. He's popped a short, walked, and scored.
Well, the forward keys to the game for Atlanta have not worked out the way they were supposed to. When the leadoff hitter's hitting for the 3rd time in the 3rd inning.
There's the Red Sox trying to recover from the end of that 2011 year, the collapse, the subsequent revelations about the in-game clubhouse beer drinking that was going on, and it revealed certainly a lack of not only character but leadership. Not necessarily Terry Francona, although that's part of it, but the players and the way they police themselves or lack thereof, and back-to-back 3rd place finishes now for this Boston team. They've not won a playoff game since 2008.
And the key to that is the policing yourself. The manager manages the team. He makes the day-to-day decisions on who is going to be in the lineup, where they're going to hit. He's going to make pitching changes. What goes on in that clubhouse, that manager should have nothing to do with. That is the players. And I put all that garbage that went on in that clubhouse on the players. Someone had to step up and put a stop to it.
Hammered into right, and again it is Hayward able to track it to take away a hit and a run. But a home run by Middlebrooks makes it 5-1. Chipper coming up 3rd. Tonight's game sponsored by Michelin, a better way forward, and by Ted, from the creator of Family Guy, Mark Wahlberg, Mila Kunis, Seth MacFarlane. Ted in theaters Friday. What beautiful sunset.
That's a Texas sunset in the Northeast. Unbelievable.
Well, temperatures have really dropped game time, right around 65 degrees. It's been smoking hot around here for the last 4 or 5 days.
It has, up 98 degrees. This is really nice.
5-1 Boston lead. Dan Uggla on the ground to the shortstop. 1 out.
And Franklin Morales has one job right now. That was it right there. Get the first hitter. Don't give Atlanta any thoughts that they can come back. He's got a 4-run cushion. Make him put the ball in play. And this Atlanta lineup has got a lot of left-handed hitters in it. He's got to take advantage of that. And that's a great pitch for a left-hander. If you got to get me over breaking ball at 74 miles an hour, no hitter wants to hit a breaking ball first pitch.
Freeman struck out swinging
on back-to-back
changeups.
First. Yeah, on back-to-back changeups, and he went back to it again there, Tom. I'm not so sure I'd keep showing Freddie Freeman that changeup over and over again because he is going to make an adjustment to it.
Well, they're coming in, but in that time with 95 gas.
Yeah. And believe me, Freddie Freeman knows he threw him back-to-back changeups last time when he to strike him out. I'm going fastball.
And that he did at 95 up.
And you can see that swing. This is the swing I'm talking about. When you elevate your fastball in the middle of the plate, and you look at where this is, that's middle up. They cannot get to it. They can't lay off it, but they can't hit it.
That's 5 strikeouts tonight for Morales, who fanned 9 without walking a batter in his first start in nearly 3 years last Sunday at Wrigley Field.
I'll tell you what, this is another situation that's going to force a decision on the part of Bobby Valentine. Franklin Morales comes out here and starts dealing as a starter. Who goes?
Well, they believe they're going to get Josh Beckett back at the end of this month. Morales is filling his spot in the rotation. Now, Daniel Bard, that experiment as a starter is over. Last 48 hours, they've decided Bard from now on is a reliever. He's in AAA, Pawtucket. Andrew Bailey, injured very early in the year, injured his thumb on a freak play over at first base. It's going to be a little longer for him, but the bottom line is those are 2 guys that are coming into your bullpen.
Yeah. And I think Daniel Bard, once he accepts the fact that he is a reliever, and from what Bobby Valentine told us before the game, that's what he wants to do, is relieve.
That's serious giddy up on that fastball again at 95. 6 strikeouts for Morales. Fourth inning from Fenway Park. Alongside Mitch Williams, I'm Tom Brenneman, our entire Fox crew. Pleased to have you with us for Baseball Night in America. Been a big night for the Red Sox so far. 8 hits, 5 runs. 2 of the hits, 2 of the runs batted in, 1 scored by Pedroia.
And I just think as this guy goes, so go the Boston Red Sox. He's their fire starter. He's their everything. When he gets hot, I just think it has a really big trickle-down effect through the rest of the lineup.
The Red Sox began the year at 4-10. And I mean, you know, as is customary in Boston, when the Red Sox start off 4-10, and it doesn't happen every year, but, you know, panic sets in right away. Pedroia 3-hit night. But his team is 8 games over the 500 mark over the last couple of months.
And you look at Pedroia here, again, that long stride. He's got a long stride and short arms. And you look at him stay back with his hands and drive that ball back up through the middle. He is, Bobby said he's fixing to get firecracker hot. Well, I think he's there.
Well, you take a look at this club, Mitch, going into the year. You're having the collapse of last year and all that we've talked about. You get a new manager. You get a new general manager. They knew that Clay Buchholz needed to step up in that rotation. There was a Daniel Bard experiment. Would that work out? Obviously, it did not as a starter. They lose their closer in Papelbon. The 2 guys they brought in to do it. One of them gets hurt in Bailey, and the other one, Melanson, ends up down in the minor leagues. Youkilis battered and bruised down at third base. Carl Crawford, wrist surgery, then injures the elbow. He's hurt. Season opens. Ellsbury hurt. So to be a couple of games over 500 and 5.5 back in arguably the best division in all of Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
I'd have to say it's probably been a pretty good start for the Red Sox. Would you disagree?
No, I wouldn't disagree at all. When you look at they lead the major leagues in days on the disabled list. To be where they're at, within 5.5 of the lead in the division, I agree totally with you. This team has a lot of talent. This team has a lot of distractions. They've got a lot of injured players, and you look at this, most players on the DL, 879 days.
Lined right at the first baseman in a double play.
And there is absolutely zero Pedroia can do about that. Other than go back and blame Poppy for hitting it too hard. That's pretty good reaction time. They talk about third base being the hot corner. Well, first base, when Poppy's up, it can get a little hot.
That's the way they used to talk about Willie McCovey. They said second baseman used to go running into the grass in the outfield when he came up.
Well, I pitched I had a game in San Diego where Jack Clark was up, and I looked up and Sean Dunston was in shallow left. And I'm yelling at him. Saw Flamaki hit that ball good, but right to Jason Hayward.
Well, hold that thought.
I'll hold that thought until we get back.
By Budweiser. "5-1 and a 4 from Fenway Park. Nighttime nearly upon us on a beautiful, cool Saturday evening in Beantown. Hayward has started off. He'll be followed by Ross and then Andrelton Simmons here in the top half of the 5th inning.
And Morales, since that hiccup in the first inning, has worked ahead.
This will be an infield hit. And an error on the top of it that goes into the stands. It'll send Hayward on to second base. Probably should have just stuck it in his pocket.
Yeah. In that situation, you have to realize who the runner is and understand nothing good can come from this. You field the ball, that's no man's land. There's no way you can make a play on that ball. Your only hope is that it hits Hayward in the back and drops straight down.
So an infield hit, a throwing error on Morales, who has started 8 of the last 9 batters with a first pitch strike. Early in the game, he wasn't doing that.
No, and that's, he's settled in. He looks comfortable. And the last thing he should worry about right now is Jason Hayward on second base. His entire focus should be on David Ross and making the pitches he needs to make right now.
Ross struck out his first time up. Foul ground, and there is room for Gonzalez.
Oh.
Runner tags. Throw comes to third. Safe there. It's a gamble, but an alert gamble by Hayward. And he's at third with 1 out in the inning. We caught up a moment ago with Bobby Valentine and asked him, with all the things we were talking about that have happened to his club so far this year, that it's a pretty good start. Bobby, would you agree?
Well, I think we've accomplished a lot of things. We've never said die, and we're coming together as a team. There's no doubt about that. But, you don't want to be down there in the standings. We want to be up in the standings.
Well, obviously, Bobby, you want to be up in the standings. I'm sitting here watching Franklin Morales throw the ball the way he's throwing it tonight. And you're going to be forced to make some hard decisions. Middlebrooks at third base doing what he's doing. He's hotter than heck. Morales throwing the ball the way he's throwing it. Are these good decisions for you to have to make?
Well, they're tough decisions, but they're good options, Mitch. It looks like a young Mitch Williams out there throwing, as a matter of fact, blowing that heat by people up top. I remember that well. But, these are tough decisions. We have Carl Crawford coming back. We have Jacoby Ellsbury hopefully coming back. So we're going to have a slew of good players, and that's a good thing.
Bobby, thanks for the time. Good luck.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank Bobby Valentine for joining us in the dugout. Andrelton Simmons pops up with a runner at third. So Hayward's still there with 2 away in the inning. And Bourne will drive him in with a base hit in the left field. Bourne a hard turn, and then the overthrow, and backed up by Gonzalez. And a good thing, or Bourne may have ended up at third base.
Yeah, and that's a great job by Adrian Gonzalez, knowing where he's got to be, and that's just fundamental baseball. If Adrian's lazy and just hanging out over at first base, that ball is down the right field line, and Bourne is at least at third.
Well, now Bobby Valentine comes out of the dugout along with a trainer to double check if anything might be wrong with Franklin Morales. Read his lips here. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Well, the only thing I'd question with Michael Bourne, left-hander on left-hander, a guy on third base, starting him with a fastball. Morales has proven he can get his breaking ball over the plate first pitch. I think that would have been a better selection in that situation.
Well, let's see if Bourne, with 2 outs in the inning, tries to get to second base very early in the count here and give Prado a chance to knock him in. It's a 5-2 game.
I think absolutely he's going to. You got 2 outs. If you get thrown out, you got Prado lead the inning off next inning. I don't think there's any question Bourne is going to run at some point. And it's up to Morales to figure out when.
Now, Morales threw 80 pitches his first start last Sunday in Chicago. He's thrown 63 so far here tonight.
And again, I believe that Bourne is messing with Morales and drawing focus away from the hitter. And that's what his job is. Michael Bourne is out there to disrupt the pitcher. Franklin either has to decide, I don't care if he's going to go, or hold the ball on him. There he goes.
Got a big time jump, no chance at all. 19 of them for Bourne, who led the major leagues last year with 61 stolen bases.
And if you watch, he's going first move. See that leg come up? First move. As soon as Morales moved, Bourne was gone. And Salsa Machia might as well have just peeled that and ate it, because he had no chance of getting it.
That's 2 stolen bases now for Bourne tonight, giving him 20 on the year. 2-1 to Prado. He didn't like that call by Doug Eddings.
Well, that's a changeup in a 2-1 count, able to get his changeup over for a strike. Franklin Morales has grown up quite a bit in the last couple of years, because this is not the same kind of pitcher he was when he was in Colorado. He got him earlier on a high fastball. Went with the changeup.
Short right field. Ross will run it down, and the inning is over. Braves get a hit on a 2-out single by Bourne. A 5-2 game. Mr. Middlebrooks has already knocked in a couple tonight. And he'll bat second when the Red Sox hit in the 5th. Proud to support youth baseball in cities and towns across America. Red Sox bat last of the 5th inning. Still a ball game here. 5-2. And a big reason why, when Christian Martinez came in the game with the bases loaded and only 1 out, he got Gonzalez to bounce into an inning-ending double play.
Which is not easy to do, considering Gonzalez thrives in those situations. He's done a good job, Martinez has, up to this point. He's only allowed 1 run, and the shift did not work.
Gonzalez's second hit tonight also has a run batted in. Let's take a look at our Lexus. in-game box score for the Boston Red Sox. Lots of hits up and down that lineup. They have 10 of them already.
You know, one thing that drives me nuts, if you're going to put a shift on a guy, you cannot pitch to the outer third of the plate. If you're going to put a shift on, you want to get the ball down and in. You see that ball down over the middle of the plate? That's made to drive the other way. And Gonzalez is a guy known to hit the ball to the left side of the field. You look at that big hole. There is nobody in that area.
Middlebrooks 2 out of 2, a double, a home run, 2 runs knocked in.
And his last time up, he got a first pitch fastball that he jumped and hit over the monster. So Martinez started him with a breaking ball this time.
Look at that.
My goodness.
Boy, is he hot. 3-hit night for Middlebrooks.
And we talked about Spalding guidebook hitting and taking the ball where it's pitched. You look at this ball, outer third, stays inside the ball with his hands and just drives it. We're now looking at a guy that is a triple shy of the cycle. And we're in the bottom of the 5th. He's going to get at least 2 more shots at it.
Makes his home in Wake Village, Texas. You ever been to Wake Village, Texas?
No. I've been to a lot of small towns, lived in a really small town in Texas, but I've never even heard of that one.
Middlebrooks played most of last year at AA Portland. Was an Eastern League All-Star, postseason All-Star. Swinging a foul ball. He wound up playing the final 16 games of the year at Pawtucket. Didn't do much there. But my, oh my. Since they brought him to the big leagues this season, here we are in his 40th game. And 33 runs batted in.
And obviously, I mean, you want to say this guy is here to stay, but it's going to be the second and third time around where pitchers start adjusting to him and they start getting tape on him and how to get him out. Will he be able to make those adjustments? Because right now pitchers have no idea how to get him out.
Well, you know, Mitch, you bring up a great point, because everybody loves to get excited about the young guy when he comes up and does what Middlebrooks is doing, and good for him.
Yeah.
But the 31 RBIs are the most by an American League player, any player, since 98-99 through 39 games. And it's Shane Spencer. There's a base hit that'll go to the track in left center. Gonzalez will score. Middlebrooks stops at third on an RBI double by Cody Ross. 6-2 Red Sox.
And Cody Ross is a guy, you want to talk about complementary players. Cody Ross is built to hit the ball in. This pitch is supposed to be away, runs back over the middle of the plate. And Cody Ross was a huge part of the San Francisco Giants World Championship. He's come here to Boston. He is not going to be a guy that you build a franchise around. He is what you call an extremely good complementary player. And he's always smiling.
Well, the infield in, Boston with a chance to bust this thing wide open here in the 5th inning. Breaking ball low to Kalish.
And what the Sox are doing, they're making Martinez get the ball up. They're being patient. They're not chasing a lot of balls out of the zone. And just as I say that, Kalish swings the ball down around his knees or his ankles.
You know, Mitch, I want to get back to that thing you brought up about Middlebrooks. As you get a look at the Atlanta bullpen, Barbaro getting loose. But Shane Spencer, you know, we know New York, and, you know, they can blow it out of proportion like any other town in the country, maybe more so. Shane Spencer was never an everyday player and a big-time producer in his major league career. He hung around for a while, had some big individual moments. But, I mean, he had the exact same kind of start that Middlebrooks had his first month and a half in the big league. So you got to wait for a little while.
You cannot rush to judge everyday players. The big leagues is about adjustments. Whether you're a pitcher or whether you're a hitter. You can bring a pitcher up that be lights out. And until that hitter faces him, the hitter doesn't know. You can watch tape on a pitcher, and you don't know till you step in that box exactly what you're going to be seeing. I think a pitcher has an advantage because he can watch tape on a hitter and see, okay, he has a hole here. He will chase here. You can't do that when you're a hitter. When you step in that box, everything, you can watch all the tape you want on a pitcher. Once you step in that box, it's now live, and it's going to look different.
Swing and a miss by Kalish, first out in the inning.
And really good job at throwing a changeup and staying on top of it. Got great movement out of it.
Well, of course, right around the corner, the Stars will align the 2012 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. The boast of the American League and the National League's top players will convene in Kansas City July 10th, 7:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific, only on Fox. Back in a moment. Runners at second and third, one out, infield in, and Barbaro delivers a swing and a miss by Aviles.
And Aviles has got 2 hits on off-speed pitches already tonight. He starts him with a breaking ball. He's in a good location.
Barbaro just made his 2012 debut on Saturday in Baltimore. Allowed a couple of runs. Brought up 10 days ago from AAA Gwinnett.
And whether or not that pitch was on purpose or not, I like it. It stood Aviles up. And this is a kid that Aviles obviously doesn't know. So he doesn't know if he stood him up on purpose or if it just got away. So that will make him a little uncomfortable at the plate. I bet he goes back to the breaking ball here. Nope, got him to chase up.
Barbaro from Staten Island, New York, played collegiately at St. John's University. Originally a draft pick by the Mariners. Braves got him on waivers prior to last year.
It kind of surprised me that the Braves have the infield in. And there's that fastball again, able to get it by him up. That's why I'm not a big fan of the two-seamer, Tommy.
Told you in July, it's the biggest event of the summer. Baseball's greatest stars will battle, as you know, for home field advantage in the World Series. The 2012 Major League Baseball All-Star Game, July the 10th, a Tuesday night, 7:30 Eastern, right here on Fox. You going to the All-Star Game?
No.
No.
I will be on vacation during the All-Star.
All right.
I'll be watching it.
Where are you going? Out to the Cape or something?
Long Beach Island, New Jersey.
All right. There's a bouncing ball. And a nice job by Barbaro to get out of the inning. Boston gets a run. We played 5. Red Sox lead by 4. The dream. Excellent job by Anthony Barbaro to avoid any further damage in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Barbaro fanning Aviles and getting Nava on a ground ball to end the inning with runners at 2nd and 3rd. So the heart of the order here against Morales, it'll be McCann, Uggla, and Freeman.
And you see Morales, he's wasting no time. He's going right at these hitters, getting ahead. When you got a cushion, make the hitters beat you. Don't nibble. And that's exactly what Morales is doing. That's 2 fastballs, 94 miles an hour. Now Brian McCann has to be aware of the breaking ball. They're going back with a fastball. In a great spot up.
Of course, the Braves are hoping McCann can find the magic in that swing. You go back to the 2006 year, he leads all major league catchers in home runs, extra base hits, game-winning RBIs, 2-out RBIs. Ooh. Morales wanted that call on the breaking ball, didn't get it.
It was a pretty good try right here. Just ball hung up just a little bit too much to be called a strike. There, that one's in there.
7th strikeout of the game.
We look at this replay, and McCann is not thinking he's going back to that breaking ball. You can see right there, he's sitting fastball, and Morales got the breaking ball. He wanted a pitch earlier, and he found it there. You know, Tommy, my first year in the big leagues here, I had a roommate, Bobby Witt. And when I came back up here, you want to talk about a guy who had rock star status. He was from Canton, Mass. Parked the car in the Harvard yard, and I just got a text from him. His folks are listening to us. They said we're doing okay.
He had a long major league career and a very good one.
He was my roommate. We both made the big league team together in 1986, and we had a ball.
One out hit by Dan Uggla, and here's Freddie Freeman. Of course, you played for Bobby Valentine when you came to the major leagues with the Texas Rangers.
Yep, Bobby brought us both up. The Rangers were rebuilding. Bobby Witt was the #1 pick. He was what we called a bonus baby. I was just a mutt that was 5-9 in A-ball the year before I made the big league team. They found out I could throw every day, so they threw me in the bullpen. And my first experience in the Northeast was with Bobby and his folks, and the accents and all that, because I was from clear the other left coast. It was a different way of life up here.
Breaking ball low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And he's gotten Freddie tonight to go after that changeup. Last time up, he froze him and struck him out with a fastball. And again with the changeup. There has to be a book on Freeman. The changeup is a pitch that he does not do well with, because you simply don't see left-handers throw this many changeup to left-handed hitters. So he's punched him out with a changeup. He's punched him out with a fastball. Will he go to the hook here? He's going to a breaking ball. He shook off the changeup.
And got him again. 3 strikeouts for Freeman. Well, here comes Chipper Jones. He is closing in on becoming Major League Baseball's all-time RBI leader. But players have played primarily the third base position. I mean, look at some of the names on that list.
They're unbelievable. I mean, when you start closing in on Mike Schmidt and George Brett, you have put yourself in elite company.
Of course, among all position players, active players, top 3 home runs and RBIs, top 5 in runs and hits, 10th best batting average. And that ball is hammered into deep right center field, and Chipper Jones has it played off the wall, and that'll be an RBI double for Jones. He just missed hitting that one into the Boston bullpen.
Well, this is the thing about Chipper's swing. He's a switch hitter. His swing is virtually identical from both sides of the plate. You see the little load with the leg kick, how still his head is. And that hit right above the O in Nikon. He was 2 feet from being within 8 of the all-time RBI lead for third base.
You know, Dave O'Brien, the beat writer for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, went back and looked at the 4 biggest decisions that were ever made in the history of the Atlanta Braves since they moved the team from Milwaukee. Bill Bartholomew making the move from Milwaukee to Atlanta, Ted Turner buying the team, Bobby Cox's return as general manager and manager, And Todd Van Poppel telling the Atlanta Braves, who had the first pick in the 1990 draft, that he would not sign if the Braves drafted him with the first pick in that year's draft, because it meant they wound up choosing Chipper Jones #1.
Todd gave him some pretty good advice.
Well, you know, an amazing fact about Chipper Jones. You go from Little League through high school to 2005. Jones never finished a completed season where he started the year and finished the year that wasn't in first place at any level ever.
He had good teammates.
Yeah, he did.
And you see that last pitch there, Morales, he tuned it up a bit. The last one was 96. And that's a good sign. If I'm Bobby Valentine, I'm looking out there going, okay, we're trying to stretch this kid out. It's only his second start. He went 80 pitches last time out. He's got to be around that mark now. And he just threw his hardest fastball of the night. If he can get this fastball up at Hayward's hands in the middle of the plate.
Which he did and broke his bat.
No, that's not up enough. That's belt high. I'm talking about he's got to throw it at the catcher's mask. We watch right here. See, that's belt high. I'm talking about the top of the catcher's mask. And Hayward will have a hard time handling it.
Of course, we had a situation in Major League Baseball in Cincinnati last night where Jerry Lane, umpire, was hit in the head with a broken bat, and they had to rush him to the hospital. And
I saw that, and that was nasty.
We understand he is recovering well, and certainly our thoughts and prayers are with him.
It shows you just how dangerous those bats can be.
Pulled on the ground, and that will retire the side. Another excellent outing if indeed it's over for Morales. 6 innings, 3 runs, and a 3-run lead with Big Papi coming up when Boston bats in a moment.
America, the Beltway battle in Baltimore. The O's have beaten the Nats in 10 of their last 13 at home. Enough of that, says Adam LaRoche, whose 13th of the year made it 3-0 Nationals. It's now in the 7th. Subway Series, Chris Young was working on a shutout. He actually had an RBI in this ball game until this ill-fated pitch to Raul Ibanez ties it in Flushing. Back to Tom and Mitch in Boston.
All right, Matty, thank you very much. Anthony Barbaro still on the mound. Facing 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order. Pedroia 3 for 3 has scored a run, knocked in a pair. Followed by Ortiz and Saltalamacchia. 1-1. Talking about Barbaro came in with runners at second and third and only 1 out. Struck out Aviles and got Nava on a ground ball to limit the damage to just 1 run. Charged to Martinez in that 5th inning. Martinez gave him 3+, allowed 2 runs.
Martinez did a whale of a job. This game could have been blown open real early. Martinez stopped the bleeding. Barbaro came in. He did the same thing.
Talked about all the problems for Pedroia ever since he injured his thumb. 9 for 62 over the last 15 games and has a third that number of hits, and now he's on base for the 4th time. We talked about putting guys on for a big poppy. David Ortiz, of course, they got him for nothing, just let go by Minnesota.
Yeah.
At the end of 2002, and first year in Boston in 03, and only the great Albert Pujols has more extra base hits among all major league players than David Ortiz.
And he's in a position that, like I said, it's not easy to do. You've seen a lot of guys that you think are going to go, okay, they can't play in the field anymore. We're going to send them to the American League and they can DH. And they can't do it. I think a perfect example of that was Adam Dunn last year, leaving the National League and going to the White Sox, and had a horrible year. But he's having a tremendous year this year. It's like any other position, it must be learned.
Ball 1 on David Ortiz. Fastball on the outer edge, a strike. Ortiz in his 9 Boston years has averaged 32 home runs, over 100 runs batted in, including, you know, sometimes over the last 3 years, in each of the last 3 years, there were times where some people said this guy's done.
Oh, at the beginning of 2010, I thought he was done. But what he did was make an adjustment in his load with his hands, because he has a tendency to drop his hands down by his belt and then bring them back up. He shortened that and stopped going down to his belt and just dropped them just a little bit to get him back up, and he was fixed. That's what I mean about making adjustments. David Ortiz is the epitome of what it is to make an adjustment mid-season and save your season, basically.
Straight up. Chipper waving off anybody might be thinking about coming to get it. 1 out. Of course, David also lost 25 pounds during the offseason. You know, he said he initially wanted to lose the weight to lower his cholesterol. They told him, you better, you know, start taking some drugs to lower that cholesterol. He said, not a chance. I'm not taking any drugs. So the best way to lower my cholesterol is to get in better shape, and that's what he did.
Well, he looks good. He's obviously feeling good because he's swinging good. And at the top of their order, had a better on-base percentage. The number 1 hole is barely over 300. So's the 2 hole. David Ortiz would be probably leading this league in RBIs.
Andrelton Simmons back over to his regular shortstop position. No shift for Saltalamacchia. In there, a strike. Well, this Boston bullpen will be tested tonight. You got to believe the night is over for Morales. We'll see.
Yeah, they've already patted him on the back and gave him his love in the dugout. He's done.
And after a dreadful start to this season, and I do mean dreadful, his best Boston bullpen has all of a sudden become one of the real strengths of this team and a big reason why. Man you saw out there a moment ago, Scott Atchison. What a job he's done.
Well, and with them getting Andrew Bailey and him going down and them not having a closer, Aceves has settled into that role and done a pretty darn good job of it.
Swing and a miss, and that'll take care of Saltalamacchia. So Barbaro picks up his second strikeout, 2 away.
Again with a high fastball.
Saturday, August 4th, the UFC returns to Fox. 4 massive fights. Knockout artist Shogun Rua taking on Brandon Vera in the biggest fight of their careers. Former UFC champion Lyoto Machida and rising star Ryan Bader collide. That'll be presented by Bud Light. Live from Los Angeles, Saturday, August 4th, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. UFC Fight Night on Fox.
You know, I thought about getting into that when I retired from baseball.
You did?
Yeah.
And how long did that last?
I just figured I wasn't tough enough to do it.
Those are tough guys.
Yes, they are. Pedroia was kind of leaning right there.
Well, I think we have seen more shifts in this game tonight than I can recall 2 teams in a game in a long time.
And back when I played, I never saw it. Never saw it. Now, if I'm Varvaro right now, I'm looking to get the ball in, as he did right there. If you're going to put the shift on, pitch to the shift. It frustrates me when they do overshift so much like this and then pitch away from it. It makes no sense to me.
Well, he pitched away from Gonzalez his last time up, and he just shot it into left field for a base hit, wound up scoring a run. Chased up there. Barbaro ahead at 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And this goes back to the old walk the ladder. If he'll swing there, go a little higher. But the whole key to pitching up and getting guys to chase up is it's got to be middle of the plate. He's got him set up. He can go back upstairs or he can bury a changeup. It's either going away here. He missed by 2 feet. The ball was inside. You look at where the catcher's set up. I'm not even sure Ross could have caught that ball had Agon not fouled it off. Coming back inside again. Big breaking ball. We'll see what Ross puts down here on the left. The split fingers, I'm thinking that's throw over.
Yep.
When they do that split finger, pinky, index finger, that either means he wants a fastball in and away or they're throwing over the first. And now they're going fastball away, which is pitching away from the shift.
Gonzalez dumps it foul off to the third base side, out of play.
I can understand it if they go soft away to get him to roll over on it. I don't understand going hard away.
Well, I mean, this guy's a tough guy to defend to begin with. I mean, considering But 27 of his hits this year have been to left field, 27 to center, 17 into right. Got him a chase and that'll end the inning. Another good inning by Barbaro. We're back to Boston after a word from your local Fox station. Budweiser, and we welcome you to Fenway Park. 6 strong innings in a second consecutive excellent start by Franklin Morales, filling the void of the injured Josh Beckett. So now to the Boston bullpen, and that will be a bunt base hit by the catcher David Ross to begin the 7th inning against the new Boston pitcher Scott Atchison.
And you look how deep the third baseman Middlebrooks is. There's no chance, if this ball stays fair, that he can possibly get it. It's actually a heady play by Ross, because what do they need right now? Base runners.
This guy's been an amazing story so far this year, Atchison. I mean, he came out of nowhere. 21 of his last 22 games, he has not given up a single run, and that's spanning nearly 27 innings. He had a career high 15-game scoreless streak, and really has brought a calming influence, if you will, down in that Boston bullpen, because it was a mess for the first month. But trouble of brewing against him here in the Atlanta 7th inning. Andrelton Simmons with a double. Ross on to third. And the Braves will bring the tying run to the plate after the double by the rookie Andrelton Simmons.
And this is just a mistake, hung in the middle of the plate. Just a fastball up. And if you're not throwing 95, which Atchison is not, you cannot miss there with an 87, 88 mile an hour fastball. Now what he's looking for is a pop up or a punch out.
Well, good luck on the punch out part against Bourne. Maybe an out, but a punch out's a tall order. He began the year 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position, did Bourne. But is a .330 hitter ever since, including an RBI hit tonight. Well, he gets ahead of him 0-2.
And now this is where I think the pitcher has got to take the chance. He's got 4 opportunities to get him to swing at a ball. Don't be impatient. Use a pitch to set up another pitch.
Pull to the right side, and that'll be an out, but it'll bring in a run and advance the other runners second to third. That makes it a 6-4 game.
And in my opinion, way too good a pitch in an 0-2 count.
Play Fox Baseball Hot Streak and win cash prizes. It's as easy as picking a player, picking a stat, and starting a hot streak. Plus, pick 15 straight correctly and win $15 in Fox Sports shopping bucks. Log on to foxsports.com/fantasy and start your streak today. So runner at third for Prado. Saw Andrew Miller getting loose in the Boston bullpen, and the left-hander continues to crank it up.
And he's a guy that I have always wanted to see just do a full leg kick. Find mechanics that he can repeat, because you just don't find left-handed arms like his. And he's getting up and getting ready for McCann.
Medlin ready in the Atlanta bullpen. You saw Vicente Padilla, a right-hander, begin to get loose alongside of Miller. Three and one. It's a big pitch in this ball game right here and right now.
Yeah, it's a cripple count to a notorious cripple hitter. Martin Prado, you better make a pitch. It's on an edge.
And he walks him.
I think we're going to end up seeing Andrew Miller right here.
Of course, the danger in coming to get him, you have a left-handed batter in McCann now. You have a righty and Uggla on deck, and then you go lefty, switch, lefty. But it appears as though Bobby Valentine agrees with you, and he's going to bring in Miller to face McCann. Boys and Girls Club of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. Well, Mitch Williams, here we are. And this Boston bullpen that we talked about after a terrible beginning to this season has been so good for the last month and a half. But now all of a sudden in a little bit of trouble as Atlanta tries to get back into this thing.
Well, and Atlanta's battling right now, Tom. And you got Andrew Miller on the mound. And this is a guy that for I don't know how many years I've watched. You don't find this kind of arm. You simply don't. He's just never been able to find mechanics that he can repeat on a consistent basis.
Ball one away. By the way, Brian McCann in his career, 6 at-bats against Miller, has 3 hits, all of them singles. Miller, a former #1 pick out of the University of North Carolina by the Detroit Tigers. And all of that has turned into a career ERA, which is just south of 6.
And the thing I don't like about it, he's 6'7". He has no leg kick. He doesn't get to his backside. It's all arm. And you look at this, there's no way he can be consistent.
And how about that? A soft line drive double play to avoid damage. So a right call made by Bobby V. But Atlanta gets a run. Braves within 2. Yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV and buy the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway miles per gallon. Anthony Barbaro has done a very nice job out of the Atlanta bullpen, and now all of a sudden the Braves are down just 2. Middlebrooks 3 out of 3, RBI double in the first, solo home run in the third, and a single to right in the 5th.
He's looking to hit one out there in that Death Valley corner at 420 and get that triple for the cycle. This Atlanta bullpen has done exactly what Freddie Gonzalez has needed them to do tonight. He's given them length, kept them in the game. And anytime you can do that, when your starting pitcher gets blown out that early and you don't have to go through 4 or 5 relievers to get through the game, the bullpen's done a great job.
And the bullpen has consisted of Martinez and Barbaro.
And Barbaro is only at 28 total pitches right now. So if he can continue to throw zeros up, I don't see Freddie going to his bullpen again unless they get the lead.
Pull the string on him there and a tapper down to Chipper. Speaking of, it's time for Just for Men Auto Stop Foolproof Stat. And just as the Atlanta Braves can count on Chipper Jones, you can count on Just for Men Auto Stop for foolproof results. Only Mickey Mantle and Eddie Murray will have more home runs than Chipper Jones all time among major leaguers
that were switch hitters. Unless Chipper has a really good second half.
It better be a really good second half. You know, every time we see Atlanta, and they do such a great job, their media relations department, of putting out their notes and their media guide, etc. And of course, a big part of it, and understandably why, is about Chipper Jones.
Well,
but every time I look at it, you know, point I'm getting at here, every single time I look at it, and you look at most hits all time by a switch hitter, and Eddie Murray, right? What an unbelievable career, right?
Yeah.
Over 3,000 hits, over 500 home runs, 3,255 hits. Exactly 1,001 hit less than Pete Rose. That number always brings me to my knees for career hits. 4,256. And it's got such a sad ending to it all.
Yeah, it really does. I'm of the opinion, and I don't know how many share this opinion, Pete Rose belongs in the Hall of Fame. That the rule he broke banned him from baseball. Baseball and the Hall of Fame are two separate entities, and his name and plaque belongs in the Hall of Fame, in my humble opinion.
We just saw Pete Rose a little over a week ago, and you know, the only stat that he'll ever bring up to you through all the ones that he had in his career, and that ball is launched deep into the night, left center field. And it is off the monster, and this will be 2 bases for Cody Ross. He hit it to the deepest part of the green monster at 379 in left center. You got to hit it a ton to get it out that way.
Yeah. This is not a noise a pitcher wants to hear. Ouch. Right here you're saying, stand. I'll take the double. And I think Cody might have thought he got that one.
Yep.
But he hit it to the highest part of that wall out there, to the deepest part of the highest part.
So a runner at second base with 1 out. Barbaro trying to keep it a 2-run game and give his team a chance with 2 more cracks at him.
Well, and the Braves have a lefty up in the bullpen.
Venters. The third game Barbaro has pitched in, as we mentioned, since they brought him up from the minor leagues. He went 2 1/3 innings his first game against Baltimore.
Well, he's done a doggone good job against this lineup tonight.
In fact, that base hit by Ross is the first hit Barbaro has allowed since coming into the game. The only other base runner was a leadoff walk he issued to Pedroia in the 6th, and then retired the next 3. You know, Mitch, I've always wondered, Why a pitcher, when there are a lot more things that can go wrong than go right? Cody Ross is not going anywhere.
No.
Why in the world even bother to make the throw?
I always told I had an inside move. And the shortstop that I worked at best with was Sean Dunston. And I always told Sean, I will never make the throw if it's going to be a tie. We have to have him picked off in order for me to make the throw. Because you're right, there is nothing but bad things that can happen with two guys getting to the bag at the same time. And Sean was the best that I ever worked with. I had a sign that I put on with him. He would just drop his head.
What was the sign?
I'd walk off the mound and rub the ball up. Kind of glance his way. Sean would look down. I knew he had it. And I always did it. You don't do it with speedy base runners. You do it with catchers, first basemen, guys that have to get good secondary leads in order to score on a single.
So then maybe Ross is not a bad guy to take a chance on based on that.
Well, Cody can run a little bit. He's not slow. But an inside move, like I said, if it's going to be a tie, you don't throw the ball. Because you're hanging your shortstop out to get hurt, number one. And if he misses it, the guy on second ends up on third.
Well, Andrelton Simmons came in there and throw was made, no damage done. Nor did they pick off Ross. Obviously, he's out there with one out and a 3-2 count on Kalish. Ball four, and you wonder if perhaps Barbaro's running out of steam. Up over 40 pitches now. So they'll bring on Venters, the left-hander, from the bullpen.
Jerry Royce in the house. Come on, turn. You all right, David?
Yeah, I'm good.
So you got that helmet on.
That big dome's in the way.
Time out. You can't. This is your only warning. You can't go to your mouth when you're on the rubber. Yeah, that's what he told me. It just looks too close. Brushes, too, would be great. Thank you, sir. What happened, Tiger? I hit a low bullet.
Good stuff. Doug Eddings, our Fox Sounds of the game. Here comes Johnny Venters. Well, what an unbelievable rookie year he had last year, along with Kimbrel down in their bullpen. But this season has been a dramatically different story for this hard-throwing Atlanta left-hander.
He has one of the best left-handed sinkers I've ever seen. To throw at 96 and have that kind of movement on it. But we talked to Freddie Gonzalez before the game, and he said people were so critical of how much he used him last year that they said, yeah, we've decided we're not going to use him unless it's a save situation in the 8th. It's a 3-run lead. We're not going to pitch him when we're behind. And here he is tonight, 2 runs down, and he's in the ball game.
Well, through the first 5 months of last season, spanning 70 games, Venters pitched in through the first 5 months. He allowed 9 earned runs. He gave up 9 earned runs in the month of September during that Braves collapse. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled away. Pitched in 85 games, most in Major League Baseball. Talked about their pitchers tonight. Poor start for Delgado. Excellent work by both Martinez and Barbaro. In 5 innings, 2 runs against this lineup.
Yeah, they came in and, like I said, they did exactly what Freddie needed them to do.
And that one will bounce into the stands. A wild pitch.
And we talked to Freddie Gonzalez before the game and asked him. I was curious because Venters does throw so hard. And I asked him about him throwing a 4-seam fastball, because I don't think I've ever seen him throw one. And he said that, yeah, he does at times. Well, a 2-seamer, you're not going to throw as hard as a 4-seamer. I would love to see what he's capable of throwing on a consistent basis with a 4-seam fastball.
Big strikeout there of Aviles. And now he'll face Nava with 2 on and 2 out.
And this is what I'm talking about with movement. You look at that movement right there. I'm trying to decide. I'm going to have to make a decision if it was off speed. No, that wasn't off speed. He just went after a sinker.
Venters went through about a month and a half where opponents hit nearly 400 against this guy. And with his stuff, it's almost impossible to believe.
Well, that's what I talk about when I talk about a 2-seamer, Tommy. When you're throwing the ball to make it sink, the whole idea behind a sinker is to have the ball put in play. Well, when the ball's put in play, it finds holes. When you have the ability to throw 96, 97 miles an hour, I don't want it sinking. I want it riding and staying up in the zone, because hitters cannot lay off it and they can't hit it. But it's hard to argue about what this kid did last year.
Base hit into right field. 1 scores and 2 will score after the bobble by Hayward. A huge hit for Nava. And a 2-run game becomes a 4-run Boston lead. Boy, this Nava's going to make it very tough on Bobby Valentine once they get Crawford and Ellsbury back.
And we're going to look at this replay, and again, a sinker is made to be put in play. And you see this? That ball sinks right down over the middle of the plate. And if it's hit at the first baseman, great, it's an out. But these things have tendencies to find holes. Unless you have Greg Maddux type control of a 2-seam fastball where you can throw it over a dime, it's a dangerous pitch. And Venters, his control is not like Greg Maddux.
Force out at second will end the inning. The 2 runs are charged to Barbaro, but he deserved better than that. Venters gives up a big hit. Atlanta bats in the top half of the 8th inning against a veteran right-hander, Vicente Padilla.
And this is a guy that has electric stuff. He's moved around a little bit to different teams, but it's never been because of his stuff. This is Ephus curveball. It's always been because he's been a guy that's been known that if he gives up a home run, the next guy is going to get drilled. I know that's why the Rangers let him go. Got a great arm.
Padilla 16 holds overall this year. That's 3rd most in the American League. Has not given up a run in the last 8 games in which he has pitched. Came up originally with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
He's been around a long time, still able to elevate that fastball 94 miles an hour. And he's a guy that will throw 4-seamers and throw sinkers depending on the situation of the game. If he needs a ground ball, he will go to a 2-seamer.
So, you know, oftentimes we get wrapped up in the numbers of the superstars, and we go back to the career numbers on Padilla. We showed you there a moment ago. You're talking about a guy pitching in his 14th year in the major leagues. 15 games over 500. Over 350 games with that ERA. That is pretty doggone good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to get you in the Hall of Fame, but that is a real good major league career. Short left field, 1 out.
And as I said, it's never been his stuff. It's always been about antics that have gotten him moved.
Dustin Pedroia was the better one tonight. Brought to you by Mazda. Better, stronger, smarter. A great defensive play to save a run early. Had a base hit. Then a gapper to knock in a couple of runs. That was in the 2nd inning. He's been on base 4 times tonight. Brought to you by Mazda. Better, stronger, smarter. Dustin Pedroia. There's that curveball. And whacked into center field by Freddie Freeman.
And to start back-to-back hitters off with it, it's kind of odd. He locked it. You look at this breaking ball. You see Freddie Freeman recognizes it right away, and you cannot do a better job of hitting right there than Freddie did.
Of course, that brings back memories of the spaceman Bill Lee. Right here in Boston. And yes, he got a lot of people out on a pitch similar to that, but the one that they'll never forget here in Boston was the one he tried to trick Tony Perez during the 1975 World Series, and Perez whacked it into the seats.
And see, it's one thing if you throw that pitch and you don't decelerate your arm, your body, your motion, everything. You can trick a hitter with that, but when you decelerate everything, you can see what happens. Freddie, if it's in the strike zone, Freddie just waited for it to come down and drilled it.
Strike to Chipper, who is 1 of 3 in a game, knocked in a run with a double. It was nearly a home run to right center back in the 6th inning. And of course, he's on the farewell tour down in Houston, Texas. Craig Biggio giving him a Texas-sized cowboy hat. On to Arizona. One of the flags that fly atop the scoreboard in center at Wrigley. A base, third base, given to him by Walt Jocketty and Scott Rowland in Cincinnati. The Red Sox turn earlier tonight. John Henry, Tom Warner. 10 from the, of course, the scoreboard, legendary scoreboard out there in the Green Monster in left field.
And this is something that when you've done what Chipper's done for as long as he's done it, to have that kind of respect of everybody around the league it's a great thing.
Able to run down the liner into left center is Kalish, and they're 2 out in the 8th. That's when you know you're getting a little older, even for guys like us, Mitch. You know, my 25 years and blessed enough to have this kind of a job, and I remember like it was yesterday when Jones came up, and here he is walking away.
Exactly. I'm not even sure he was up when I retired. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
I've been retired for 15 years, and he's been playing for 19. So. And Jason Hayward just missed his pitch. I'll be surprised if he gets another fastball in that area. That is his nitro zone right there. Going with a slider here. That did not slide.
You know, here's a young man in Hayward. You know, a native Georgian and outside of Atlanta, and you know, handsome, great smile, so articulate, so outgoing and friendly, and you know, Atlanta just wants this guy to become the next Chipper Jones or the next great player and superstar in baseball. And you know, he burst on the scene and was so good his rookie year. Went through a lot of injuries last year. And he's still so young. Well,
and there's that Ephus pitch.
Yep.
And
why didn't you ever throw that pitch?
heck, I had a hard enough time commanding the 4-seam fastball.
Well, Ford F-150, built Ford tough. And by the makers of 1 and 8 Men's, the official multivitamin of Major League Baseball. They're swinging and singing to Sweet Caroline, as they do here at Fenway Park.
One of my favorite songs.
Understand that Neil Diamond, in fact, is in Boston tonight, playing over at the Garden.
I was raised on Neil Diamond. My father saw him live at the Greek Theater in L.A. I had to be back in the 60s. And we were forced to listen to him, and I actually liked his music.
Are you more of a George Strait guy now?
Oh, George is a legend. Everything George does is #1.
You're right about that. Chris Medlin takes over on the mound. Bouncer to the right side with a big shift on for Big Poppy. 1 out. Taking a peek ahead to the Atlanta 9th inning. They're down by 4. You have David Ross, Andrelton Simmons, and then Michael Bourne.
And you know, you wonder over the course of this season, I look at that shift, and I know I saw it a lot in Philly with Ryan Howard, and now with David Ortiz. How many hits a year that takes away from those guys? It's got to be a bunch. I mean, you're probably talking anywhere from 10 to 15 hits a year, and 10 to 15 hits can be 30 to 40 points on your batting average.
Well, with a 4-run lead, and that's where it stands right now with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Bobby Valentine not fooling around. He has Alfredo Alceves, their reliever, getting ready out in the bullpen. He last pitched on Thursday night, so only 2 days ago against Miami when he got his 18th save. That was a 3-game sweep over the Marlins.
And Bobby said before the game that he wants to throw every day. And Bobby has been through that before because I played for him. And I asked him, is he as bad as I was when I was with you? And he said he's worse.
Hey, you were telling a story about, you say the game was in Chicago? Is that where you said it was?
Yeah. Just throwing a bullpen. And it never happened again in my career where the ball came out of my hand like it did that night. And they called down and told Bobby to we were getting blown out 8-1, and said let Mitch throw the bottom of the 8th, and I went in and threw 10 fastballs and struck out the side.
Swing and a miss. Medlin able to take care of first Ortiz, and now Saltalamacchi, and here comes Gonzalez.
But you can't explain that kind of thing.
Well, you're blessed with a great arm when you're able to do stuff like that, like you and a Savings and be able to do that.
I was the kind of guy, and that's why I asked Freddie Gonzalez if he was worried about people being critical about how he used Venters and O'Flaherty and Kimbrel last year. I was a guy, if I didn't throw, I lost velocity, and I hated it. I wanted to, my first 3 years in the big leagues, if I didn't pitch in a game, I threw a bullpen session every single day. There wasn't a day that went by that I did not get on the mound.
Well, Kimbrel clearly has not been adversely affected in any way. His stuff is even better than last year, right now.
Well, I think the thing that Kimbrel has over Venters is command.
Very impressive 8th inning there by Chris Medlin. All right, here we go. It'll be David Ross, Andrelton Simmons, and Michael Bourne in the 9th. Bobby Valentine, despite it not being a save situation, will hand the ball to his closer. What a job this guy has done. Alfredo Aceves.
Absolutely. I mean, they acquired Andrew Bailey to be their closer. He gets hurt in a freak accident at first base. And now you have to give the ball to a guy that's never been put in a situation and expect him to close out games. And he's done a good job of it. Closing is about understanding the situation, that the pressure is not on you as the pitcher. The pressure is on the hitter. The hitters are behind. You already have the lead. Most important thing for a closer, strike one.
All right, here we go. David Ross. He started the scoring inning in the 7th with a bunt hit. And wound up scoring a run. Simmons followed with a double. A ground out brought a run in. Prado was walked, and then the biggest at bat of the game is when Miller came in to face McCann with runners on the corners and only one out, and Atlanta down just 2. And he got McCann on a line drive to first inning ending double play.
You see the situation right here. The Braves down by 4. Would not surprise me if Freddie Gonzalez has them taking a strike.
Aceves has only blown 3 saves, and again tonight is not a save situation, but you know, much like this entire Boston bullpen, which got off to such a dreadful start through nearly first month of the year, all of a sudden he has now saved 16 of his last 17 with an ERA at 1.5.
And that's settling in and learning the role. The only thing I had a problem with what he's done so far tonight in just 3 pitches, he's got a 4-run lead. First pitch was a cutter, next 2 pitches were curveballs. 4-run lead, I'm coming in throwing fastball, here it is, hit it as far as you can. You can't give the hitter too much credit in a situation like this. Now, you get a couple guys on, you got to go to pitching, but you don't fall behind throwing breaking balls and off-speed pitches when you got a 4-run lead.
Fastball there and hit hard by Ross, but one Ross to another, 1 out.
And Aceves knows he got away with one there. That ball is supposed to be inside.
Tonight's Burger King smooth play of the game. This electrifying rookie in Will Middlebrooks hits in each of his first 3 times up, including an RBI double, a solo home run, 3 out of 4.
Yeah, and the thing you hope for him is that, like we talked about earlier, he has had a great couple of months. Understand the game ain't that easy, and he's going to have to adjust at some point. Pitchers are going to learn something.
Aceves trying to nail this down for Franklin Morales. It would be his first win as a starter since he beat the Arizona Diamondbacks in Phoenix on April the 8th of 2009.
That was a while ago.
Indeed it was. That's as a starter. And it would be the first time he has won a game as an American League pitcher. 2 out. For Atlanta fans, tune in tomorrow, Fox Sports South, for the final game of this series. Coverage gets underway at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Those guys do a great job following Atlanta Braves baseball. Producer of our game tonight, Jeff Gowen. Our director, John Moore. Robert Slosby, our associate director. Our associate producer, Andy Cavanaugh. And our technical producer, our good buddy, Dan Rotante.
Really good director tonight.
And the technical director is Gabriel Bell. Like our entire crew here in Boston, it's always great to come here to Fenway Park. Well, these races in both the American League East and the National League East are going to be fun to watch.
They are. there isn't a team in them out of it, and that's unusual.
That is in the air, foul ground. And out of play, the Yankees are leading their game against the Mets 4-3, that game of the ninth. The Washington Nationals have won over Baltimore 3-1, so Atlanta would go to 4 games back. Boston will remain at 5.5, or if the Mets rally, 4.5.
He's got 4 chances to get him to swing at a bad pitch right here.
Boyne does not chase. Good night for Boyne. 3 out of 4. Couple runs knocked in, 2 stolen bases, and a run scored.
He has made himself into a really, really good big league ball player.
One-two pitch. And this ought to do it. Gonzalez will beat him in the bag this time. And the Boston Red Sox have evened this series at a game apiece. Final count of 8-4. And again, congratulations to Franklin Morales, stepping in for Josh Beckett. A second straight excellent start. Tonight a winning one.
Tremendous effort by Franklin Morales. Went out there, had a rough first inning, got through it, settled in, threw the ball extremely well, got Bobby Valentine 6 innings of work. Outstanding. Bullpen had a little hiccup in it and then settled down and ended it.
Well, that's going to wrap it up from Fenway Park in Boston. Coming up next, we'll send it back to the MLB Network studios for post-game coverage. Again, our final, the Red Sox 8 and the Braves 4 on Baseball Night in America. We're back after these messages.